welcome back. Before we move on, I must go into a little bit more detail about the evolution of the food industry. First of all, the food industry is money focused, not health focused. Big corporations like the Breast Cancer Society and many other cancer societies and the Diabetes Society, all the above, have financial ties with the dairy industry and the meat industry. And we know that dairy has a strong correlation with breast cancer and all forms of cancer. If you have not watched the What the Health documentary, please do. It can be found on Netflix or online. This film was a big turning point for me and a big driver behind why I do what I do, especially exposing the lies of the food industry. So currently, there are over 10,000 synthetic food chemicals that are still being studied and developed. And these are all across the grocery stores today, and people think these are real food. The industry literally lies to us every single day. They put false labeling, such as allowing for at least a 20% margin of error on packaging. But it gets completely worse. And here's a lie for you. The ingredients in food are what most people classify as real food, but of course it's not. And one thing you might not know is that a lot of foods actually contain wood pulp. Yes, wood pulp. So let's look at fruit juices. We are brainwashed to think that fruit juices are healthy because we associate fruit with being healthy. But when you actually look at the ingredients, a very small percentage of these fruit juices are actually real fruit juice. It's mainly added sugars and synthetic chemical flavors. Then look at soda. They market these products like they will give you happiness, but what it actually will give you is obesity and diabetes. They load these products with sugar that is 8 times more addictive than cocaine that we know. They want you to not be able to stop eating their food. They are brainwashing us. Another tactic they use, they literally research how to physiologically hook and use brain control methods studied by psychologists to control us. It's quite disturbing and very scary. Take a look at this Snapple all-natural fruit juice here. It has 46 grams of sugar. What? Oh, it's crazy. Let's talk about processed foods too. Processing is, again, taking something good out, adding something bad in. Takes out the fiber, water, vitamins, and phytochemicals, all those magical health foods. Processing basically makes something no longer a real food. It takes out nutrients for a particular reason. A longer shelf life. Oh, to make the company more money. Well, when you fortify foods with molecules and try to add things back in, like synthetic calcium or iron, it's not going to be good for you. It causes inflammation and a negative cascade of events that cause you to gain weight. For example, look at what primarily makes up processed foods. White bread, white pasta, white flour. These all originate from a grain. They are basically interpreted in the body the same as sugar and sweets. Studies show that eating these processed and refined foods actually leads to the top chronic diseases, the ones we are trying to prevent: obesity, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and even premature death. These foods have been removed of their beneficial nutrients and added with fat, sugar, and salt, food additives, and colors that give them a brownish color or vibrant color, and chemicals and preservatives to make your taste buds addicted, so you will come back and buy more, thus making them money. They do not care about your health. They know they are doing this. They take nature's packaging and remove it and try to make things addicting with man-made chemicals. So, like when you eat a Snickers, you get this immediate sugar response, elevating your serotonin, your blood sugar, and your insulin, trying to make you feel good because that's what innately our bodies crave, but it causes your fat cells to swell and secrete more fat in that negative cascade of events. The reality is the food industry knows they are doing this to us. They want to make more money. So they make food with high shelf lives, cheap to produce, cheap to store, cheap to buy, with high profits. Here's an example here from the food industry. So sugar is hidden 61 different ways on food labels. Fast food targets kids with advertising and addicting ingredients as much as possible. The meat and dairy industry deny how red meat causes health issues and how, just like the tobacco industry dismissed how cigarettes affected health. And then they have the blame game. The industry puts blame on obesity from inactivity. Even children, like, how's a 2-year-old supposed to be obese and go to the gym? When we talk about calories in versus calories out, foods provide us with empty calories, supplying you a large volume of calories for a minimal portion of nutrients. When you eat this, your body is tricked. Your body does not know what is going on. It does not know it's full. Your brain speaks to your gut, sending messengers back and forth. And these messages really get hijacked, and they're not normal messages that occur. By becoming aware of this food industry issue helps us tackle the problem directly. When we expose the lies and stop supporting these companies, we can take away the power they hold upon us. Do not be fooled anymore, please. Another thing is the gut. So imagine this. The same bacteria that can make a food go bad on the shelf ends up as the same bacteria in your stomach. Think about like a McDonald's cheeseburger. You know how long those things can last? Years and years and years. And think about what that does in your gut. If the bacteria in the air can't break it down, neither can the bacteria in your stomach. There's no nutritional value in the food except we just get this fast surge of sugar, which elevates insulin and makes us fat. The intestines do not recognize the molecular substance of these processed foods, and the body treats it as foreign, and then we have an immune inflammatory response. This is a huge stressor. This causes insulin levels to stay elevated, staying in fat storage mode all the time, and you still stay hungry, nutritionally starving all the time. This is a chronic stressor and a deep root cause of obesity. If you want to lose weight, the most important thing to do is to eat real food. Food that is not processed, food that is live. The greater the quantity and assortment of these live foods and fruits and vegetables and whole grains and legumes, the lower the incidence of obesity and the chronic diseases we have today. Action step. Please, please, please expose these lies to the people you know and love most, as their life depends on it, not just yours. And then check out this video from the Food Babe on the food industry feeding you lies. All right, I'll see you in the next lesson.